Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we are diving back into Mono Black. Erebos God of the Dead. I I built this one very early on when Theros first came out. I didn't really have a crazy plan or theme with it or anything. I was just like, you know what? We're gonna do Devotion to Black, which evidently I translated to lots of big fatty dudes. So said I haven't. This one didn't get as much love as some of the other gods got. So let's start with our. We have some pretty big dudes, so we need some mana. Worn Power Stone, you know, the Felwar Stone. That's how you know. Run the Cage Sun, because like I said, some of these cards are just expensive. The Charcoal Diamond and the man, I love the old artifact border, and I realize it's just because that's the color it was when I started playing, and that's also with that looks awesome. I mean, does the Howling Mine look better than the Jet Medallion? Well, no, because this is not the original Howling Mine either. But anyway, um, you know I'm running the Planar Bridge because I've got all that artifact mana, and you know actually 8 mana tap to search is actually cheaper than a lot of the cards that we're going to see. I felt like I had to have the Whip of Erebos, the Resonator. Now I'm playing with Erebos because I can, and I mean it's it fits in the deck. The Conjurer's Closet, Phyrexian Processor, just to keep cranking out the big dudes. I'm not running a whole lot of enchantments. Attrition, Baneful Omen, Enslave, and Intimidation is a card that doesn't see a whole lot of play, and I can't understand it. Now, it is 5 mana. You're pretty much... it's very likely that's all you're doing on that turn, is you're casting Intimidation, and then, attacking with creatures that just down near can't be blocked. It's Intimidation is good, especially in a Devotion style deck. We'll go through. We'll do creatures last. Mono Black brings with it, of course, the Tendrils, the Mutilate, the Corrupt. Now, as far as Devotion goes, of course, Sanguimancy. This is really good. Now, you got to be careful because you can kill yourself with this card. Fated Return is going to get something back, bigger, badder, and unkillable. So that's cool. Virtue's Ruin feels very, very black. I mean, to be honest with you, I think they should have triple black casted this card. But anyway, Rise from the Grave gets something back. Crux of Fate, and Garrick's Wake, and Life's Finale are my wipes. It's not a whole lot because we are a little heavy on the Creators. Now, most of these I did pick just for their casting cost. There's a lot of 2 and 3s. I mean, Jesus, I'm playing with Hypnox. Hypnox. When's the last time you've seen Hypnox in a deck? This actually occupies the... I don't think I've ever actually cast Hypnox. When Torment was out, I didn't really play a whole lot of competitive Magic at the time, or hardly any. Was that during my Lord of the Rings phase? I don't know. See, I bought a little bit, and I played a little bit of Magic, but I didn't buy like I normally do. I didn't re-up. I essentially had to get back into standard Magic. But Hypnox, I don't think I've ever cast. It is just a bonkers card. We got Gonti and the Night Howler. Now, the one thing that I love about the Bestow creatures is I am always, always, always going to bestow them. There has to be an exceptional set of circumstances for me to cast them as a creature the first time, because they grant their ability to a creature, and then if that creature dies, like in a board wipe, This falls off and becomes a creature. So you can have this and board wipe, and then you'll have the only creature on the board. And this is especially good with this one because it counts dead things. It's so good. We got ourselves a Sangermancer. It's got two black mana in its cost, so we're getting there to our Devotion, Cathopsid, and you damn Skippy that I'm going to put. Oh shoot, I can't think of the new. I know somebody will tell me in the comments. The Hour of Devastation, Liliana Demon, her third out of four. Yeah, he'll. That's the problem with having this many decks is you need, like 15 of certain cards. The Gray Merchant, y'all saw this one coming because, it's Devotion, and it's each opponent. I mean, this is enough to, substantially cut down the number of players at the table. We have the archetype of Finality because why not? It's got 2 black mana in its cost, and it removes all their death touch. By the way, I have never seen a full of this. This is beautiful art. Chris Ron does an amazing job. But I'm almost glad that I've never seen a full of this because I'm sure those eyes would kick my ass. I'm telling you, those eyes have got to be gorgeous full, like Thalia's, Her blue eyes were just gorgeous. But this glowing-eyed Medusa is just, it's beautiful art. I picked me up a couple of original Nightmares. I say original, the original art. Yeah, they're like revised or 4th edition, but when somebody says Nightmare, this is what I think about, and it's a beautiful thing. Pestilence Demon can kind of, keep all the little creatures down. Chancellor of the Dross, 3 black mana. Visara, tap, killing a dude. Necroplasm also keeps down. White, since we're, going to kill things. That's a Spirit of the Night, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 9 mana, 6/5 flying trample pro black, first strike when attacking, haste. What would that cost now? 7 probably? Yeah, probably 7. Probably 7. Because pro black on a black card is almost free. First strike when attacking is about a half a mana. Haste in black just doesn't happen a lot anyway. Anyway, Spirit of the Night, it's got 3 black in its cost, and it's one of those cards that you just don't see that often, so it's been a long time since I played with Spirit of the Night. We have a Reaver Demon as another version of a Wrath. When he comes into play, if you cast it from your hand, boom. Volrath the Fallen helps with the, hey, I have a lot of giant guys, so let's make him giant. And he's 3 black mana. We got the Pit Spawn. So now a lot of these cards are so dang old that if they made a lot of these cards now, they would just be costed way differently. Love the Roll Assassin, 2 black, and he's good removal. Sign of the Darkness, Vengeful Pharaoh. As I have not been keeping up with Hour of Devastation spoilers, but is this guy in there? This was M12. M12. So that was 2011, okay? Vengeful Pharaoh. This is obviously an Egyptian theme. If you will look at his orb and his headdress, this is a bola. They threw this Easter egg in there 6 years ago. That's how long ago they knew, and it slipped by us. Rummage through your quarter rare binders, pick out a Vengeful Pharaoh, and look at it. This is as bolusy as it gets. But yet, it wasn't an Amonkhet. I'm wondering if it's an Hour of Devastation, or even if they care enough to, put it in. Maybe Vengeful Pharaoh is going to get reprinted in the next year in the Return to Core set, whatever the hell they call it. Core, what would it be? It's an 8, so Core 19. I bet they just end up calling it Core. Anyway. we got Hirobi Deathwale. There you go. Fleshback for removal. Fog of Gnats. Much like, I think I actually chose Fog of Gnats over Will-O-the-Wisp. And for like the only reason in the world is it costs twice as much. How many times do you hear that? It's the same card, but it costs twice as much. And that was an upside for me. I'll probably never say that again. Well, I chose the more expensive version of the two identical cards. Necropolis Regent. Counters. The Overlord is also a... Yeah, that's we're talking about devotion. Halo Hunter. Now, we all dogged Halo Hunter when it came out. This was, oh, it's useless, it's useless, it's useless. Because it come out in the same set that, or not the same set, but around the same time as Baneslayer. So we were like, yeah, we got, no, it's a demon. So we had, I think we had Baneslayer in the core set that year, and then we had Zendikar come out as the fall set, and it was just a couple months later. But we were like, they had to make it a demon so it wouldn't work against Baneslayer. I think they were trying to push Baneslayer. Yeah, imagine that, Baneslayer being pushed. Obviously was. Kuro Pitlord, if you got enough life, man, you got the game. That's right. Now, you do got to pay to keep this guy around. But, you know, hey, he's a 9/9 who kills things, so he's kind of worth it. We have the Disciple of Phoenix. Bane of the Living. That's right. This is a card you're just about always going to morph. Now, the last card I got for you is Umbra Stalker. Now, Umbra Stalker... Eventide had this chroma thing, which didn't go over very well, according to R&D. I absolutely loved it. There was chroma in all 5 colors, and it was neat. I loved the mechanic, but it didn't really execute that well, from what they said. It could have gone better, I guess. It wasn't loved, but it wasn't hated. But they decided that there was enough there that they were close to something that they would continue to tweak it, and they worked with it, and it became Devotion. Now, I hope they don't just make Devotion a Theros block only mechanic, because it's a really neat mechanic, and I would love to see it go evergreen. Maybe not evergreen, maybe deciduous, every once in a while. But that is what I've got for right now. I do appreciate you watching. We're going to tap some black mana and,